When I arrived with USDA-ARS in Riesel around the year 2000, it was a time of transition for the experimental site. We wanted to, and really needed to, modernize the site in terms of using state-of-the-art scientific equipment. And so we did that, and it set the table for us to then analyze needs of the agricultural producers in the area. And one of the challenges they were facing at that time was the potential use of alternative fertilizers or organic fertilizers, as probably most people know them. There was a large growth in the poultry industry near Riesel at that time, and so a lot of chicken houses were dealing with their waste and wanting to find an alternative use for it. And so the project we decided upon was to use poultry litter at different rates on farm fields, crop fields at Riesel. And so we applied not only poultry litter as a fertilizer, but also commercial fertilizer to compare those two. And at the same time, with rising fertilizer cost, it was important to make sure that we were putting out the right amount of fertilizer. And so we utilized a revolutionary soil health test called the Haney test to help us determine what the correct fertilizer rates were on each of those fields. We showed that alternative fertilizers, in this case poultry litter, could be an economically viable fertilizer source in terms of crop production in Central Texas. Another benefit to this research, which again not only looked at poultry litter as an alternative source, but also rates of commercial fertilizer, was that farmers and ranchers traditionally, and let's say over the past 30-40 years, have depended on fertilizer rates that were too high. And the origin of that decision making was that fertilizer was cheap in the past, and so it didn't hurt the farmer's bottom line to add a little extra fertilizer. But as fertilizer cost increased, we showed that it was truly important to their bottom line to put out the optimal amount of fertilizer, not too much fertilizer. A topic that receives considerable attention today is soil health. And there's many ways to improve soil health, whether it be by changing tillage techniques, using organic fertilizers, using cover crops. And we showed that in Central Texas, at least considering soil health and the benefits of the nutrient cycling that improved soil health brings, doesn't have to detract from the bottom line, that it can be part of a sustainable, economically profitable farming system.